Welcome to One Day with EIB, in which you will hear from 3 senior managers. Afterwards, we will have the opportunity to ask questions to senior credit analysts from 3 different business areas, and me from HR. We hope that you find your time with us interesting, and we look forward to exchange with you after this video.
After my studies in the United Kingdom, I qualified as a lawyer with a large firm in the City of London. After a couple of years of working in London, I moved over to Paris and spent about 10 years in Paris working for both law firms and in large companies. My particular area of focus was bank finance, and I was particularly involved in project finance outside of the European Union. So I was looking at lots of projects in North Africa, Africa, and elsewhere.
I studied economics and international politics in Helsinki and in Austria, in Vienna, with the focus on transition economies in the Eastern Europe and in the former Soviet bloc. Due to my knowledge of this region, I was after my graduation hired by Nordea Group, a leading financial institution in the Nordic markets, as a bank and country risk analyst, with again focus on Eastern European markets. After some years in risk management, I moved on within the Nordea Group to the business side, continuing to focus on transition economies. And some 5 years in Nordea, I got an opportunity to move to London, to EBRD, a sister institution of EIB, if you may, which was for me more like a dream come true. I was able to continue working in the region that I was deeply interested in, but at the same time I was able to work for an institution with the clear political mandate to contribute to the economic transition and development of the former Soviet bloc. After 5 years with EBRD, truly inspiring years, I felt that it was time to see something new and learn something new, and that was the point when I then applied a job in EIB.
I have 15 years experience in banking, in project finance, basically in all the fields related to it, from credit to syndications, origination, restructuring, and now I'm in the portfolio management field. I also hold, as an academic background, a double degree in law and business administration, and I'm a holder of an MBA. Basically 2 aspects: the very important role we play as an institution in Europe, and secondly, the very important role we play in general in the banking market, and in particular in the project finance field.
My years in EBRD had really convinced me that by financing sustainable, bankable projects, one can actually make a meaningful contribution to the economic development generally and the well-being of the population. At the same time, I also felt that while Eastern Europe was still very close to my heart, it was time to see pastures new. And EIB actually gave me the opportunity to combine my two interests. So I was able to continue working for an institution whereby I could capitalize my knowledge in banking, but at the same time, with my work, contribute to issues such as growth, development and employment in Europe.
During my time with a law firm in Paris, I'd worked extensively with EIB, so I was very familiar with both their activities and some of the staff, and I was stimulated and intrigued by what they were doing, very impressed. I was also attracted by the international environment of the EIB. Having worked in Paris, I already had something of an international aspect to my career, and this seemed to be a logical further step. And I was also attracted to life in a slightly calmer city, in a slightly calmer country, which is Luxembourg.
I'm currently working in a managerial position in the bank's operations directorate. In other words, in the front office of the bank, or business directorate, if you may. The directorate's remit is, in a nutshell, to originate and execute lending transactions. The work entails a lot of customer relationship management, but also marketing, financial analysis, and financial structuring, as well as commercial and legal contract negotiation. My team is responsible for our corporate lending in the Nordic countries and in Germany. We work with large multinational groups such as Deutsche Telekom or Volvo Cars, but also with smaller mid-caps and mid-cap companies supporting in particular their investment in innovation, research and development.
When I joined the bank, I actually joined as a lawyer, and my role was very similar to the role I had in the law firms which I worked for before joining. Subsequently, after 4 or 5 years, I was given the opportunity to join the credit risk department. The credit risk department is the department within the bank which expresses opinions on all the loan and investment proposals made to the management about specific credit risk aspects, i.e. essentially, do we get our money back or not? My role within the department is as a head of unit. I have a small unit which specializes in project finance, limited recourse project finance, which is essentially a cash flow driven type of lending. And so our division, our unit, is specialized in analyzing cash flows and stress testing those cash flows and producing a final opinion on whether or not they stand up. The credit risk department itself is part of the risk management directorate. The credit risk department expresses opinions on all types of operations, so bank lending, corporate lending, public sector lending, and the more sort of structured cash flow driven operations which we are responsible for. The risk management directorate has another department, which is the financial risk department, which is responsible for looking at all the, what we could term back office type operations. So essentially treasury operations and hedging operations on our portfolio.
I am a head of division in the transaction management and restructuring directorate. We take care of whole portfolio of the EIB. One is it signed and disbursed. And basically what we handle is the counterpart review, project review, assigning ratings to all specific exposures once per year. Also, we check the compliance of all the contractual clauses that have been signed for all the exposures. And then we deal also with all the events that can arise through the life of the exposures, of the loans, etc. My particular position is in the project finance field. So we deal with about 200 project finance. We are a team of 20 professionals. And we are very engaged with clients, trying to resolve all the problems and all the challenging questions that may arise throughout the year. I will make a double differentiation. The first one is within my team. We have a wide range of different backgrounds. We are a team of about 20 professionals. Just to give you an example, we have about 10 nationalities, 10 different nationalities represented in the team with very different backgrounds, from chemistry to business administration, mathematicians, etc. So you can see that there is a wide range, multicultural aspect in the team. Then apart from the team, we also lead for each event that we deal with, we lead a team within the bank. And there we also work with engineers, economists, lawyers, etc., to have a full assessment of all the different aspects of the event we are dealing with.
First, I would like to say that EIB's staff consists of highly qualified professionals with very diverse backgrounds, culturally and also career-wise. In the operations department, people typically have an academic background in finance and economics, but we also have colleagues who are engineers or have more multidisciplinary academic education. In terms of careers, many of us come from commercial banking or investment banking, but we also have people who have joined us from industry or from the equity and fund world. Personally, I think that while academic background and relevant professional career are important, it is equally important that the people who join us have also the personal competencies required for the job and agility and flexibility to adapt into an institution like us, very multicultural and diverse. Also, I think it's important that people contemplating of joining EIB are doing that because they actually want to work for the institution and buy into its mission.
I have the good fortune to work with a team which is made up of people with very varied backgrounds. We have engineers working for us, we have people with more sort of classical financial business studies backgrounds, and there's also a lawyer working for the team, and that's me. This is great because different backgrounds means different personalities, different outlooks on life generally, but also it brings a great deal of varied experience to our specific product, which is looking at project finance transactions. And to look at a project finance transaction, you do need a certain amount of technical, legal, and financial knowledge. So the mix that we have is really ideal for that.
The proverb, good things come in small packages, is very true in case of Luxembourg. Luxembourg is indeed very small, but it is very vibrant and offers good opportunities for high quality of life. I also think that Luxembourg is very international, considering its size, which gives it a cosmopolitan feel and makes it easy for expats like myself to settle. Luxembourg's location is clearly a great plus. If the smallness at times gets on one's nerves, and it may well do so, you can actually reach major European metropoles by plane, by car, or by train in a matter of few hours.
Personally, I've really enjoyed living in Luxembourg. We moved here from Paris with a young family, and the fact that Luxembourg is a much smaller, calmer city has actually improved our quality of life substantially. Everything in Luxembourg is more convenient, the quality of the public services is excellent, and another thing which has really, really improved my quality of life is the access that you have here to nature. I'm quite a keen cyclist, so getting out on my bike in the forests has actually added a great deal to my personal life.
I really like it. It's a small, medium-sized city. It has a lot of advantages because of that, and in particular I recommend it for families. Being the father of four children, I can tell that it's very convenient. Everything is ready and prepared to host families here, so I can only recommend it.